Did any of you guys see Gladiator 2? Anybody see that actually?
No.
No. But I've heard very bad things.
It just seems like the kind of movie that
Talking
didn't
about
need to
movies
exist.
and Tom is gone.
It's pretty much been, everybody's been saying, well, at least my take on it is it's the most expensive straight-to-video movie ever.
Yeah, I hear it's not bad, but it's like it's not great either. It's kind of just middle
The
of the
more
road.
people that have seen it, the more that have talked to me, the worse it gets. Like, the first people that saw it were just like, yeah, it's okay. And then, like, the worse it gets, it's like, I hate this movie. It's stupid. It shouldn't even exist.
Well, that's because nobody wants to admit that Ridley Scott lost it, man. He's not the guy anymore.
I've been saying that for years, but then
he's not
everybody
the
gets
guy, man.
mad
And
at
Tom,
me.
you've heard me talk about this, man. Tony Scott is the better director.
I've said it too, man. And I always get shit for it too, man.
Nope, I'll go on. I'll die on that hill. That Tony Scott is a better director than Ridley Scott.
It's got 77% for all audience. Look at top critics though, drops down to 62%.
So maybe it's better than the Scorpion King 2?
That exists. Scorpion.
There's like 4 of them, dude.
What?
Rock only's in the first one, but yeah.
Did the first one even do that well? I don't remember.
It did well enough to get like 3 straight-to-video sequels or whatever it was, but yeah.
I actually still want to see Gladiator 2, but my expectations are very low. It can't be that bad.
I have a feeling that it'll be on Netflix within 6 months, so I'll just wait. Who
Well, it's
made
gonna need to
Gladiator
make-
2? Like, what's the main company that made it?
Oh, I don't
Paramount.
know.
A corporation, I
Paramount.
guess.
Paramount, because they
crap,
adopted
okay.
anything Universal, or Universal took anything from DreamWorks that was animated, so they have Shrek and all that stuff. But Paramount got all the live action stuff, so they have like Gladiator and all that kind of stuff. When DreamWorks kind of
Man,
dissipated or whatever, they're not really even in existence anymore.
They're Illumination now.
Yeah, Illumination's
Basically,
doing good.
yeah.
So this movie, from what I understand, needs to make like $600 million to make money because of the budget was so ridiculous. That's going to be a problem for this movie.
Well, that's just an overall problem with Hollywood in general, man. I mean, I don't understand why these people can't shoot a movie on a decent budget anymore. Not every movie needs to cost $100 million to make.
I agree.
Gladiator cost 3 times that.
Well, no, I'm saying 100 mil at the lowest.
No,
at this
I know,
point.
but that's why I said it's the most expensive straight-to-video sequel ever, because it costs $330 million. They're never making that money back.
No.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no. But the movie came out internationally last week, and it made like 80 million, I think, worldwide, something like that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
bad. That's bad, man.
So it's looking like it's going to make about 60 domestic. I don't know what it's making overseas right now. Wicked is going to have a huge opening. I bet you I wouldn't be shocked if it makes 200 million, to be honest.
Wicked is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
I don't understand how anybody thought this thing was going to fail. This totally has that Barbie demographic. Women
Yep.
love it. I like seeing this, though. You got something for dudes and gay guys in Gladiator 2, and then you have Wicked for women.
Oh, dude, to its
Oh,
credit,
don't try
and
to
for
make
gay men
Wicked
as well.
happen.
I love movies that know exactly who their target audience is, right? Wicked knows who their audience is. And they're not bullshitting. The same way Barbie did, man. I just hate when, these
Yeah,
studios...
stop trying to make the MCU movies Wicked.
Right, basically, yeah.
Can you please stop that? Can we just have shit for men and women? I don't understand. They'd make so much more money if they did that.
Don't make movies for the audience you want. Make it for the audience you have. And a lot of these studios haven't learned that lesson.
Yeah, but I remember people saying that this Wicked, it's going to fail. It's like, no, this movie's going to make a lot of money.
Oh, no, I never thought it was going to fail. I mean, yeah, Cynthia Erivo is kind of an asshole, and, she says some things she shouldn't have said, but never for a second did I think this movie wasn't going to do well.
I have enough other problems with it.
I saw it today.
mean-
I saw it today. It was good. It was
I
good.
do, because I get like not giving a shit about Barbie, but like a lot of us grew up on The Wizard of Oz, and I'm finding out more and more about this story. Like, it's not even what I thought it was initially. And I'm just like, so, okay, it's just, anyway, it's like, whatever. Because it kind of pisses me off because my dad kind of wanted to see it. And now that I know more about it, I'm like, there's no way he's going to want to see this.
Tom, it's not new. This is based on a Broadway play.
I know, but I always thought that Glenda was the villain. I didn't realize they went out of their way to make the Wizard of Oz the villain.
Hasn't he always been the kind of the villain?
No, that's what I'm saying. Why does everybody think that? I don't get that.
You know why? Because I've seen other Oz stories where he is always the villain. So like, I thought that was kind of commonplace in that
even the
world.
Great and Wonderful Oz, he's not the villain. So that's what I don't understand. Where people get, it's usually like the women who've come at me like, "Oh, he's a liar," and it's like, okay, so he didn't actually lie. All he did was show off his inventions, and the people of Oz called him a wizard. So he didn't deny that he's a wizard. So that makes him a
he was a
liar.
con man.
He kept the peace, and he made Oz a great place. I mean, if you go into the like history of it all with the books and stuff, the place was like, oh, and he basically scared off the witch and shit like that. That was the other thing too. So like, and at the end of the day, I've said Glenda's always the villain because she's the one who seals Dorothy's fate. She could have told Dorothy, "You can click your heels together and go home right now." No, instead, she seals the shoes to her feet so the witch can't get them, right? And then sends her down the yellow brick road to the wizard. And then the wizard basically knows that he can't get those shoes off, so he sends her off to kill the witch because then he needs her broom because that's the only thing in Oz that's magical, right? Because he's just an inventor. He doesn't actually have magic, right? But he does follow through with everything he promises. So that's where I'm like, yes. Is he perfect? No. But he's not a bad guy. I don't ever get where everybody considers him like a bad guy. I don't understand that.
Well, to
Tom,
be fair,
I
Tom,
always thought he was a piece of shit.
He's a jerk, yeah.
I always thought he was just a
But at the end of the
scumbag.
day, it's these two women fighting over shoes, and Glenda's the one who's the real villain here.
actually, Tom, you know, just so you know, she is kind of the villain in this show too.
Yeah, and that's fine because that's what I always thought this was, right? Because at the end, like I said, if you think about it, she could have just told Dorothy that go home, click your heels. No, instead, she seals the shoes to Dorothy, right? To where Dorothy can't take them off, and the witch can't get them off without killing her, right? So basically, that's.
Well, you know, if he wasn't such an asshole scumbag, a lot of that wouldn't
I
happen,
mean,
Tom.
he admits that, like, yeah, I needed the broom for this and that and the other, or whatever. But like at the end of the day, he still gives the lion his courage. He makes the scarecrow the king and all that kind of stuff. Gives him his heart and all his mind and all that kind of stuff. And
What do you think about the director who said that there was like homosexual tendencies between
that's
the
in the book.
scarecrow and
Oh, I never
And I
heard
get
that,
it.
man.
And I get it. People are like, you're way too invested. You guys don't understand. I grew up on this movie. This was one of those movies that every year, like, I think my dad was more of it. And this is what's sad for me is because my dad's been asking me about this. And I'm like, I don't have the heart to tell him. Because I'm like, I know if he goes and sees this movie, he's going to be like, what the I know it. And he's not even that.
You haven't seen the movie, so you can't really make
No,
that.
I just know that because of the story.
But how
I
do you
just know.
Well, you don't.
yeah,
You
I feel
don't
like you
know
should
that
see it
because
before you have
haven't
such
watched it
harsh,
and you don't
strong
know the whole
opinions on it.
story.
And Tom,
I don't know. I
I'm
haven't
not going to
seen
make
it. I
my
have no
dad
idea.
sit through a 3-hour movie that he's going to hate.
Tom, I
Because it
saw
makes
today.
Wizard of Oz a bad guy.
Nobody's gonna hate it because you haven't watched it.
Yeah, Tom, I saw it today. He's not going to hate it. It's not. It's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable film.
All right.
Unless your dad is just such a hardcore Wizard of Oz fan that you know, which I've never met.
Look, he hated the fucking prequels. He didn't understand. He kept going, "Why is little Luke here?" And I said, "That's not Luke. That's Anakin." He's like, "That's not."
Oh,
Darth
yeah,
Vader."
okay. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure makes a good point. Tom grew up during the Great Depression. The Wizard of
true.
Oz was all he had.
Oh, don't even get me into the analogy of the Great Depression of the Wizard of Oz. Right? See, like that's the thing. Wizard of Oz is a very big film when it comes to cinema history too. So, like, yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's obvious.
I
yeah.
have that investment as well. But I'm gonna shut up now. But whatever. I'm just saying.
My
like, to
my
me, it
experience
just-
with Oz is basically the original and Return to Oz, which was just a nightmare as a child to watch.
Oh
That's
God,
about the
that
extent
movie,
of my,
man.
you know,
That was pure
yeah,
nightmare fuel.
That's all I got. You know, the Wheelers, all that shit. Yeah, as a kid watching that stuff, probably shouldn't have watched it, but it is what it is.
That movie was not for
But, like,
kids at
Wicked-
all, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know, but Wicked, I have like no idea what it like. Apparently, it's like that's the what's the Oz's daughter or something. I don't know. It's not for me. Clearly, it's not for me, so it's fine.
I think there were a lot of movies actually in the 80s that were supposed to be kids movies that shouldn't have been kids movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
100%,
looking back, those weren't for kids.
No, yeah.
Have you
Return
ever
to Oz
seen
was horrifying.
Tom? What do you think about like the porno parody, The Wizard of Ooze?
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
My dad will probably like that one though.
Yeah, you think it'll be better
Well, I
than
mean-
Wicked?
Probably. Well, The Wiz is already in existence too, so there's that. But yeah.
Yeah. So Wicked gonna make a lot of money. I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
really it.
it definitely is.
It's gonna make a shit ton, man. The theater I went to today, I went to a 2:00 showing today. There wasn't one empty seat.
Yeah, I drove past my theater a couple of times over the past 2 days, and it's wall to wall parking lot packed every time since Thursday. So I'm sure. Just seeing what it's going to make, I bet you it makes closer to 200 million. I want to see what it makes like internationally. This could have a huge weekend if those international numbers.
Do you think it's going to be $1 billion eventually?
I could see it hitting $1
I
billion.
could see it hitting that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Also, I could see it doing pretty well during award season time.
Oh,
Well, and
yeah,
how are
sure.
people going to react to it being a two-parter? Because that's what a lot of people are discovering.
It left on a pretty satisfying note. I mean, here's the thing: I've seen the musical, on the stage musical, here in LA like 2 or 3 times, and it ends in a way where you know that there's a part 2 coming, but it ends in a satisfying way.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a 2-parter until somebody said it on Twitter. Yeah, how many other people don't know that it's a 2-part movie? How long
Well-
is it? Is this
well,
movie
because-
really 3
because-
hours?
Well, because if they didn't do that, man, the movie would be like 3 or 4 hours. So
How long is the first one? How long was it?
It's about 2.5 hours, I think.
God damn.
Yeah.
Of
No, it's
How long
singing?
is the play?
Oh, the play is like 2, maybe
Well, that
3
was the
hours.
other thing. Is like this is like twice as long as the play already.
Yeah, what are they
So-
adding to it then?
They're adding a bunch of shit back from the woke ass book. This movie is 2
Ah.
hours and 40 minutes.
I mean, have you guys ever
I
read
know.
that book though, man? Like that-
the book-
everybody
the book
told
is
me it was
not
fucking
woke.
woke.
It is
All
not
right.
woke.
All right, well,
It's not woke, but it's a pretty different. It's pretty different than the musical. How about put it to you that way? I'm sorry, Anna. Go ahead.
No, nothing.
Yeah, no, you can't do that now.
No,
Go ahead
go
and
ahead.
say what
I-
you're going to say.
No, because it's just gonna end up being a recap of when Chris and Tom got into it about that Frankenstein movie because
Oh no.
at this point I'm like, this book has been out for decades. The play was
doesn't mean it didn't come out during the PC time.
well, that wasn't the point I was making. The book has been out for decades. The play
And I watched
is
that
a
fucking
Broadway,
too, and it was
the-
horrible.
It's a beloved Broadway play, and I think considering that you're a film critic, you should probably see this before you have such a passionate opinion on it. I could understand if you watched it and you absolutely hate it because you have this deep love for The Wizard of Oz and you have all this knowledge on it. So I honestly want to watch your review of it. I want you to see it and I want to hear what you have to say because personally, I don't really care about The Wizard of Oz. I've never particularly liked the story. I'm like, it's there. I'll watch it occasionally. But even when I was a kid, it just really didn't interest me. So
Yeah, it didn't interest me either.
yeah, so honestly, Tom, like I want you to watch it because I want to hear your in-depth opinion on it. But
That's
right
it, Tom. Now you
now,
got to watch it.
No,
yeah,
I don't really want to sit through 2 hours and 40 minutes, a whole nother film of this crap. That's the
I'll
problem.
send you $40 so you can go get the fancy theater seat and a drink, and you can go
Yeah,
watch.
That's
I
it.
it.
sat, through
D-box.
that, I sat through that other movie that I got in an argument about Chris about, and I was pretty much right about it as far as I
Well,
was
you
concerned.
hadn't watched
It was
when
awkward
you
as
debate with him about it.
well, and he still hasn't talked to me since about it, so it is what it is. But at that point, look, I watched
Well,
it.
see, I'm
said I
still
would.
talking to you. Well, you guys got really into it. I just
Well, he
honestly,
got
he's
more
I
not
upset
want
mad
about the
anymore.
audience.
Here.
That was the thing. It was the audience that started getting upset or whatever. But at the end
He's
of the day,
not-
it is
he's
what it is.
not mad. He's gonna come on here eventually, and we're gonna have a sit down.
You guys can dish it out.
What happened? Because
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. What happened?
Chris Gore and Tom got into a big argument about that Emma Stone movie where she's like it's like a Frankenstein thing.
Oh, the one where she's getting raped over and over, or has sex over and over,
Wait,
but she has
what?
the brain of a child.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh,
the name.
I
isn't
can't
that
remember
one
the name
called,
of it.
Little something or something like that.
Someone in the chat will
That's the
say
one-
the name of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
Yeah.
name of it. I never watched it. I didn't care.
She won an Oscar for that, by the way.
Shit, she.
She did. She won the Oscar
Oh.
for it. Oh, Poor Things. Poor Things.
Poor things. Yep. That's
Ah,
it.
there you go.
Yeah, it just
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't see
look
it either.
like.
No idea.
I call it a poor excuse for a movie.
If they would have at least made her look, like she did in Zombieland, I might have been interested in watching it. But she had like a unibrow and shit. It's like I have no interest in this.
Well, it didn't make no sense because she was supposed to be advancing, and yet her motor skills weren't, and all these other things. Like she was around for like over a year or whatever it was in the movie. And it's like she's still acting like a little child, but yet she's supposed to be smarter than everybody else. It made no sense. It was just weird.